Good morning. Good morning. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Good morning. Welcome to Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. As you're on your way to being a better you, why not follow my basic principles to build your best life? Thank you for tuning in this morning. I am so happy to welcome my Facebook fans, Periscope fans, as well as my YouTube fans, viewing from all over the world. Wow, Nigeria, Canada, the Bahamas, Jamaica, all over the United States. How amazing is that? Just come on in here. Come on in. Come on in. Well, for those of you who follow me, you know that for the past 5 months, I have been giving you those building materials that will assist you in building your best life to have a great life. And those building materials, we started out with associations, those people that you have in your life, those that were in your life in the past, if they may have left some negative debris in their wake, those that you have in your life that you don't need there, you need to get away from them. Then we moved on to discipline, or more so self-discipline. You have to move away from relying on your support system to make decisions for you, to guide you, make sure that you're doing the right things, being respectful, maintaining your credibility, to doing it yourself. Then we went on to goals. In order to build a best life or have a great life, you need to know where you're going. And in order to do that, you need to plan. You have to set those goals, put time parameters around them, make sure that they are specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and they are time sensitive. Then last month, we talked about mindset. You know, you can be very intelligent. However, if you think nothing but negative thoughts, you let other people talk to you in a negative way, you're always around negative people, that can give you a negative mindset, which is not good. So it's very essential for you, as you try to have a great life, to have a positive mindset. It's so powerful. And then, of course, this month, we have gone on to finances. Finances. You know, it's not all about money, but whatever it is in life, it does take money to maintain that. A place to live, to get an education, to have transportation, start a business. You do need finances. So you need to start young in life, being able to manage how you handle those finances. So managing your finances is one of those building materials that you need in order to have a great life. And I cannot believe that the month is halfway over. So again, this morning we're talking about our finances. And this morning, it's young men, finances, friends, and decisions. That's young men, finances, friends, and decisions. You know, when times get tough, the tough have to make sound decisions. It's not time to break down or just make decisions off the top of your head. You have to make those sound decisions. and there is someone who is assigned to assist you. Please, please, please allow them to assist. Now, to help me with my point this morning, I have a story that I want to tell. And of course, it is a fictional story. So just bear with me. Now, and it all, remember, this all ties back in to finance. Okay? So, many of you know about King Arthur and his court and his friends. So, the title of this story is King Arthur Must Choose. Now, young King Arthur was ambushed and imprisoned by the monarch of a neighboring kingdom. The monarch could have killed him, but was moved by Arthur's youth and ideals. So the monarch offered him his freedom as long as he could answer a very difficult question. Arthur would have a year to figure out the answer, and if after a year he still had no answer, he would be put to death. Wow. The question: what do women really want? What do women really want? Such a question would perplex even the most knowledgeable man, and to young Arthur it seemed an impossible query. But since it was better than death, he accepted the monarch's proposition to have an answer by year's end. Good morning, Lynetta. Thank you for tuning in. He returned to his kingdom and began to poll everyone, the princes, the priests, the wise men, and even the court jester. He spoke with everyone, but no one could give him a satisfactory answer. Many people advised him to consult the old witch, for only she would have the answer. But the price would be high, as the witch was famous throughout the kingdom for her exorbitant prices she charged. The last day of the year arrived, and Arthur had no choice but to talk to the witch. She agreed to answer the question, but he would have to agree to her price first. Now, the old witch was cunning. Her price? She wanted to marry Sir Lancelot, the most noble of the knights of the Round Table and Arthur's closest friend. Young Arthur was horrified. She was hunchbacked and hideous, had only one tooth, she smelled like sewage, and she made these obscene noises, etc. He had never encountered such a repugnant creature in all his life. He refused to force his friend to marry her and endure such a terrible burden. But Lancelot, learning of the proposal, spoke with Arthur. Now, Lancelot was a true friend. You know, we talk about those associations, but Lancelot was a true friend. He said nothing was too big of a sacrifice compared to Arthur's life and the preservation of the Round Table. So he was putting his friend and his country before himself. Hence, a wedding was proclaimed, and the witch answered Arthur's question. Thus, what a woman really wants, she answered, is to be in charge of her own life. A woman really wants to be in charge of her own life. Now, everyone in the kingdom instantly knew that the witch had uttered a great truth and that Arthur's life would be spared. And so it was, the neighboring monarch granted Arthur his freedom, and Lancelot and the witch had a wonderful wedding. The honeymoon hour approached, and Lancelot, steeling himself for a horrific experience, entered the bedroom. But what a sight awaited him! The most beautiful woman he had ever seen lay before him on the bed. The astounded Lancelot asked what had happened. I mean, he had just married a witch. Where did this beautiful woman come from? The lady replied that since he had been so kind to her when she appeared as a witch, she would henceforth be her horrible, deformed self only half the time, and the beautiful maiden the other half. Which would he prefer? Beautiful during the day or beautiful during the night? Well, Lancelot pondered the predicament. During the day, a beautiful woman to show off to his friends, but at night, in the privacy of his castle, an old witch? Or would he prefer having a hideous witch during the day, but by night, a beautiful woman for him to enjoy wondrous, intimate moments? Now, I see Harold Ramsey is on. What would you do? This was some decision to make, huh? So Lancelot considered his answer carefully. Then he declared he would allow her to make the decision. She could choose whether she wanted to be beautiful during the day or beautiful during the night. Now, upon hearing this, she announced that she would be beautiful all the time because he had respected her enough to let her be in charge of her own life. Okay, so see, that went full circle. Now, what choice would you have made? Yes, there is a moral to the story. If you don't let a woman have her own way, things are going to get ugly. Now, that was the story that I wanted to tell you that this morning, and that comes from the website A Time to Laugh. But I selected that story because it all ties back in to young men, finances, friends, and decisions. Okay? Those finances, those building materials that we're learning about this month. Now, in the story, King Arthur had a year to answer a question or be put to death. He didn't know the answer, but he surely didn't want to die. So he had some choices he had to make. Your decisions are important. You have to stop and think about decisions before you make them. Okay? It took him almost the entire year, but he decided finally to listen to others and seek the old witch's advice. So, at first, everybody was telling him to go to the witch. She would be able to help him. But, this was a hideous woman. He didn't want to go to her. Even though he didn't know the answer, he was going to let his humility get in the way to keep him from dying or being able to live after the year. But he finally decided to listen, and he went to her. So likewise in finances, sometimes we don't know how to save. We don't know how to invest or buy stock. Instead of seeking a reputable financial advisor, what? We rather just not do anything. So we take our money, we waste our money. Amen. So, that's just is the difference. Sometimes you have to reach out and seek that help. If you don't know something, a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. But then again, sometimes I know it's a better way to do this, and I don't know, but you let your humility get in the way of you seeking that help. Now, King Arthur finally went to talk to this witch, and she had the answer, but only would provide it for a price. See, again, we go back to that money. It's always about the money. But now she didn't really want cash. She wanted to marry King Arthur's friend, Sir Lancelot. King Arthur, valuing the friendship, would never ask his friend to marry a witch. So sometimes there are people that may be willing to help us, but we don't go to them and give them an opportunity to say yes or no. We just take it and assume that, well, I don't want to ask them something like that. You know, if I don't pay my mortgage next week, I'm going to be put out. I could ask my friend. Now, I've helped him before, but I don't even want to let him know that my mortgage is behind. So would you rather be put out and your family not have anywhere to lay their heads? Or do you want to give your friend the opportunity to say, yes, I can help you, or no, I'm not able to right now, but maybe you could blah, blah, blah. So you just have to make those decisions, and it's always important to, again, stop and think. Don't make rational decisions. But, you know, but Sir Lancelot, he was a friend. You know, we have people in our lives and they say that they're our friends, but they're our friends as long as we can do things for them, be supportive of them. But when we need them, not so much. But here, Sir Lancelot, when he learned that King Arthur would die if he didn't come up with this answer, and the only way he could get the answer was if he, Sir Lancelot, would marry an old witch. Hey, he didn't have to give it a second thought. King Arthur was his friend, and he would do anything to save his friend's life. So we're talking about a life and living with a woman that might not be so beautiful. She might smell, but hey, after they marry, she might, you know, change, clean up a little bit. But he made that decision. His friend was more important. He would give, you know, he would come to that when he had to, but he did not want his friend to lose his life. So he made the decision, hey, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you, dude. I got you. I'm your friend, your ride or die. I got you. Go ahead. Take her up on her offer. Don't worry about it. So in other words, Lancelot was assigned to assist King Arthur, and he did that. He went ahead and said, okay, man, you got me. I'm good. But a lot of times we need help and we will not accept it. There is someone that is assigned to help everyone. You either have to seek out that help or not always put a wall up around you where people are afraid to approach you. And then third, when people do approach you and offer help, take them up on it. If you know it's someone that means good for you, they have the experience or expertise to assist you, let them assist you. But always remember that everyone has someone assigned to help you. Allow them to do so. So King Arthur did allow Sir Lancelot to assist him. And what happened? Sir Lancelot, being a friend, decided to go ahead, marry the witch, but he was kind to her. And what did he end up with? A wife who was a beautiful woman. She was definitely smart. You know, she was the only one that could answer this question. So because he was a friend, he was there for his friend, he was unselfish, he was blessed as well. So when we do what we're supposed to do with our finances, it helps us. You recall about being a good steward. If you're not a good steward over small things, why should you be blessed with bigger things? So you have to manage and be mindful of what you have. Okay. Now, whether you are 15 and working part-time, 22 working full-time or older and working full-time. Or you may even be working, have a full-time job and a part-time job. You must be a wise steward of your finances. You cannot, and I'm not saying something that I wouldn't do, but I know I wasted a lot of money. I probably could be a multi-millionaire, but I think back of all the money that I wasted. I was one that liked to have cookouts. So every weekend I'm having cookouts, inviting people over, and it wasn't, you bring a covered dish. I was furnishing everything. And it was like every weekend. That was money that I could have been saving, putting in stock, investing for my children's future. So I have been a waster too. So sometimes you have to listen at people and gain from their experiences. But you have to be wise of what you have. And these are some tips that I want to give you. I am not a financial expert, but I have learned some things from experience. So first of all, don't borrow from anybody if at all possible. I know things happen and sometimes you just may have to. But don't borrow, because when you borrow from someone, you become their slave. And then a lot of times, friendships are broken because people borrow. Somebody might say, hey, man, I need to borrow $300. Well, then you might be asking someone who doesn't have that principle of saving really, but they just might have $300 that they won't need for 2 weeks or whatever to pay a bill. But you're saying, I'm going to give it back to you in a week. So they loan it to you, really thinking that they're going to get it back. And a week comes, they don't hear from you. 2 weeks comes and their bill is due and they're trying to reach out to you, you're not answering. And then what happens? Then they're upset at you because now they don't have the money to pay their bill. And then, I make it a habit now. I've learned I don't loan people money. If someone is in need and I have it, now I will give it to them. But I'm not going to lose a friend behind loaning someone something, knowing that they may not pay it back. But just be very, very careful about borrowing. And when I say that's not only borrowing from friends, but that is when you make loans or whatever. Because believe me, these loans that you get when you do the rapid refund from your income taxes, high interest rate. The title loans, when you give them the title to your car, very, very, very high interest rates. So they always get you. So be very careful with that. Then don't use credit cards. I mean, you need to have one because a lot of times you will need one for making reservations or something of that sort. So it's always good to have at least one. But as far as that doesn't mean you just got to use it. So if you have a credit card, get one that has a reasonable interest rate. That's a low interest rate. It's good to have one that has cashback rewards. And if you can get that and use it to get the cashback rewards, but it's not to say, hey, I can get rewards with this, and you're just using it, but use it wisely. So you're only spending what you are able to pay back at the end of the month. So you're never putting yourself in debt, really. You're just using it to get the rewards. And I know some of this might be deep, but we're going to have someone on the 25th that can answer any questions you may have. I'm a Christian. I believe in tithing. So whatever you get, the first 10% should go to the Lord. I believe you should save another 10%. And usually when you save that first 10%, you're putting it in your account or sticking it in your pocket. But if you put it in the bank, it's normally in an account where you have that share. So basically it's really a pot of money together, because you can, if you want it, all you got to do is, transfer it, or if you spend too much out of here, they'll normally just get it from that share account. So you're readily using that. But then I will put another 10% in a different institution. So a different bank where you cannot readily get to it. You don't, if they gave you a card, ATM card, don't keep it in your wallet, just put it away somewhere. And that would be a really savings account, an account for emergencies, an account to try to save 6 months of your income. So if you have a major illness, we have another epidemic, a pandemic, and you don't get paid for some reason, you have something to fall back on. You always need something for emergencies. You have a flat tire and they say they can't repair your tire. Your tire costs $80, $120, $300, $400, depending on what type of car and tires you have. You don't want to have to borrow from someone or charge to get a tire for your car, and you need your transportation. So that's why it's so important to save. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, I can't do that. That's hard. I've got all these bills already. I live from paycheck to paycheck. That's why you need to talk to experts so that they can explain how you can get a budget, how you can pay off bills quickly and get to a point that you can do this. So that's why I'm having experts come on to talk to you about that. But I just wanted to give you some tips this morning, and I hope these tips are helping. But I do know that if you start while you are young, it will be easier to manage your finances as they grow. So you're starting with small things. So parents, grandparents, educators, if we teach our young people at a young age this principle, and I even teach it in children's church, then they kind of understand, and it's easier when you have more money. So, explain to your children, if you get $10, somebody gives you $10 for your birthday, you need to put, so much in church, save so much, and put so much over here in your bank that you can't open. But we need to start learning young. You learn young, and by the time you get into having some money, then you know the principles, you know how to invest, you know what cards you should get, how to save. You want to make a big purchase, you know how to maybe save, make that a goal. It's going to take me 2 years, but I don't need it. It's just something that I want to get, and this is the one I want. This is how much it costs. You can plan it out. So this is why our finances are important, and it helps you to build a great life, because believe me, I know it's stressful when you're living from paycheck to paycheck. Been there, done that. When you don't know how you're going to pay a bill, you're hoping you get your check and you can pay something, pay your light bill before the lights will go out or whatever. All that can be stressful. How am I going to pay my student loans, whatever? So this is good information to learn to be able to handle your finances. So that's not something that's going to stress you out, but it's going to help you to have freedom, to be able to, hey, we need to get away this weekend. You got the money that you can get away. You don't have to worry about it. I'm not going into my money for my bills or whatever, not going into the kids' education fund. We have money set aside. We want to take a vacation this weekend, we can do it. So this is where you want to be in order to, just have that great life, to do things better and smarter. So I really, really hope that this information has helped this morning. If there's someone that you know of that this can benefit and they are not on here, please share. That is what the sharing is all about, sharing to help someone else. It's not sharing just to say, oh, share, 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 share. No, I give the information because I think it is useful information, and I want as many people as possible to get the information. So if they're not here, the only way to get it to them is someone comes upon the video and they share it with someone. Hey, they may not have Facebook, but this same video is also on Periscope, which is tied to Twitter. It's also on YouTube. So, it's available. Now, for those who say, hey, this sounds good. Yes, I can benefit from it. I know someone that can benefit from it. I want my teenager, my young adult to listen to this. Brady Robinson, who is a financial expert, is providing free professional advice Thursday, February 25th, right here, Facebook Live. She will also be on YouTube and Periscope. But that's going to be Thursday, February 25th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She will be able to provide you with helpful information. She may answer some of the questions you're wondering about, but you will have an opportunity to put questions in the comment box, and I will be monitoring that and give her those questions, and she will be able to answer you right on the spot during the broadcast. And if, there's something that you want to ask her one-on-one, she will be providing her contact information so that you can contact her to get that assistance. So please make sure, put it on your calendar, share it with your loved ones, friends, associates. Thursday, February 25th, free financial advice, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I thank you so much for taking the time on your Saturday morning to tune in to Build Your Best Life. I hope this information about finances and associating the story with it to help it be a little bit more upbeat, because, who wants to talk about finances early in the morning? But I thought the story would enhance it, make it a little bit more fun. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Walt, Harold, thank you, Monetta. Thank you all for tuning in. Anybody else that's listening and I don't see your name in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, I need to tell you this as well. This Tuesday, we're going to have one of our up and rising youth, a young man from Texas, Damian Charles, will be on. And we're going to be getting the perspective directly from one of our youth. So Damian Charles will be on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to having Damian on Tuesday. So please tune in. I believe Tuesday is the 17th, 16th, 17th? What is it? 16th. So yes. So Tuesday the 16th, Damian Charles will be on. So please tune in. Let your young people know, so your young people may not want to hear some older person, mature person talking, but let them know one of their peers will be on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So they may want to tune in for that. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as you go on your journey to being a better you, there will be distractions, rough terrain, pitfalls, and detours. Don't let any of these negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Enjoy, be blessed, and I will see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.